Welcome to the 17th annual Turf and Tools podcast. I'm back in Sydney. I've decided to rehire Karthik. He's realised the errors in his ways.
Yeah.
Said he's going to work on being better.
You just went a bit too intellectual with Luke on your podcast. You just want to dumb it down a bit more, mate. I'll bring it right back down.
It's good to have you back. It's a lot more casual than Luke's podcast. If you don't know, I usually do this podcast with Karthik as my co-host. And this week I went to Perth for someone else's podcast. I did film a video of it there, so you may have seen last podcast with him there. But we also did... It was his 100th podcast, the Australian Lawn and Gardens podcast, and he was doing a bit of an event there. So flew me over, which was a bit of a whirlwind week. I'm still tired. I got crook after I came back for a day, but I'm good now.
But he hasn't actually posted the podcast on his stream yet, has he?
I don't think so.
Because I went to check it out, because I obviously didn't catch the live because I was at work. But
there was no live of it.
Okay.
No,
okay.
He doesn't do it like us.
Right.
He's not a man of the people. There's nothing raw about it.
I knew it was a lot more professional, his setup.
Yeah.
You don't get to 100 without being a bit professional, I think.
I mean, we say that, but...
we're at, 17th annual?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine editing that podcast because he had multi-cameras, which were GoPros, and they kept overheating.
Oh, no, okay.
Midway through, so... And then the sound was, I don't know, it's going to be
And here you are with your fully professional setup, with the two phones. So how was the trip? How did the...
Hey, I don't feel like I've been to Perth. That's the
Was
weird
that
thing.
your first time to Perth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I realised that I've had no interest in, not from a, dismissive of Perth or whatever. I've just...
You don't lose us the entire West Coast audience.
I've never had any... thought about Perth or going over there or whatever to the point where he took me to this place when we landed, Kings Park.
Yeah, saw that part,
Yeah, there was some gardens there and stuff. And we walked out to, there was a war memorial. I struggled to say that in the video too.
True, you did.
I don't know why. And I saw water and I just assumed it was like a harbour out to the ocean.
Yeah.
And I just had no idea. We were like 15 minutes inland.
That's right. When you asked him where it is, and he goes, about 20-minute drive that way. Yeah.
So, and I didn't really do a lot. I was just going between where I was staying and his shed. Mm-hmm. And that was it. I didn't do any touristy stuff.
Didn't do the touristy stuff. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
You went there to work, mate, not to do touristy stuff.
It was dead set like that. Yeah. It was like flying in somewhere to do work and then coming back.
And you managed to get a Free Mo Friday done while you're there.
Yeah, we did that as well, Free Mo Friday, just a small front yard.
Did the person know of you, know what Free Mo Fridays was?
Yeah, once you tell them what you do, a lot of the time they're like, oh yeah, I've seen that. Like they might not essentially know me or whatever.
Be a follower or whatever,
Well, yeah, but it's like it's come across their feed at some stage just because they do go a little viral. But
yeah.
What else was I saying about it? Yeah, so we did his podcast, which was, we're very relaxed here.
Yeah.
Very, very relaxed. But we had, I don't know, there might have been 30, 40 people in the audience. Mm-hmm. And I'm kind of spoiler alert because his podcast isn't out yet, but he threw it straight out to comments.
Right, open with comments.
So he's going around Australia on a...
podcast tour?
Junket, essentially. Yep. But... doing podcasts in different locations. I was the first one, so a bit of a guinea pig. And, we worked out that, probably need to warm into it, have a chat first, then go into the questions. Because you're in an audience there, no one really feels comfortable enough straight away to...
Yeah, and sometimes it's easier to get the questions out of them when you've...
Start talking about something,
Yeah, exactly.
Question might be relevant to what you're talking about. But, that was cool. Lots of other stuff going on, obviously. I don't know if anyone... Has anyone commented on...
Nah, you're getting a lot of compliment. Well, you're getting a compliment on your booty.
On my
I guess not on your booty, but on your booties.
On my booty? These aren't mine. These are...
Not the other booties, no.
What do you call them? They're like slip-on Uggs. They're not mine, but it's damn cold here.
God, it's cold, isn't it?
Yeah.
There was a time in my life when I liked cold weather.
Yeah.
I look back now and I go, what was wrong with me? God, I
kind of like it. I prefer snuggling up rather than sweating.
Yeah, if you're talking extremes, maybe.
Yeah.
But this this half-assed winter.
I mean,
that we're having.
everyone wants spring.
The perfect spring weather here. Fair enough.
Yeah. So we've got a new garage setup. I actually stole this from, if you watched the last podcast, there's a similar sort of setup. I'm not finished. I just did all of this yesterday. There'll be a video out tomorrow of where I got it from and everything, another vlog. But yeah, well, you can't really see in the video. That's probably why. But it's a lot more organised. Again, you can't see on camera, but it was a nightmare in here, wasn't it? It's just in between moving in. I'm also moving out of Store Hub. I went in there yesterday to tell them.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
How did they take it? They were fine?
Oh, of course.
They were okay. Yeah, no, it's lots of business as well. And like...
Oh, yeah. No, they understand. I've got a shed now, and I just don't have a need for it. And while I could retain it, I'm probably sure it's not. I like having access to everything here.
Yeah.
Which is very nice. But yeah, there's going to be more videos on setting this up. I've been doing my fence. Did you see that video?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Which has come to a standstill. I'll go and show you where we're up to later.
Mm-hmm.
You
Vivi is calling you out for stealing shelves from Bunnings. So it's still got pricing on it.
What? They're legitimate, like they're ex-store stock, but it's not like I stole them. I got them from a pallet racking place that does like buybacks and stuff.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
I couldn't be bothered pulling the stickers off. So
it's what I said first thing I walked in and I saw it and I said, you've still got stickers on.
It's
there.
From the lighting section too. I did check it out. I was hoping for a cooler section. Like it would have been awesome if it was the outdoor power equipment or something.
Oh,
section.
right. Yeah, just happened to be the outdoor power.
But it's not. Still has the pricing on it. -1 in Cowra. Yeah, okay, that is cool.
No, but that's proper. I see that I can. You know, it's winter. It's -1. You prep accordingly.
Yeah.
You wake up in Sydney right now, and it's kind of like you can't make up your mind on whether you need 5 layers of clothing or just one.
Yeah, by sort of 10, 11 o'clock, you're pretty much pulling the jumper off, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The fence is coming along. Got to the point where I trying to put the posts in, and I was using my fencing bar, and I hit sandstone.
Yeah.
Which is so weird going from every place I've lived in has been like a new greenfield area where it's just clay.
Yeah.
And you're digging in clay, and it's like it's annoying to dig in, but you're not hitting rock or anything. So, and then coming here and then hitting rock at like 50 mil down.
So I'm making no headway at all. Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, maybe I'll hire a jackhammer or something. But I did see a Makita, I think it's just been released. It's a 2 times 40 volt, so 2 40 volt battery demo hammer. So a jackhammer essentially.
Cool.
Yeah. So I did message the guy I talked to there.
Yeah.
And said, hey, any chance I could show you the video?
This,
yeah. And he goes, yeah, you're probably going to need our auger as well. I go, okay, all right.
He forced you to get a second bit of kit, eh?
Not sure when it's coming. The fence project is on hold until it does get here.
Is this fence for the
just
doggy?
fence the dogs in when
that's what I thought.
When anyone's here or anything, or just sometimes they go nuts and you're like, you just gotta
lock them up for a bit.
Yeah. Exactly. It's pretty simple fence, post and rail, and then I'm going to put some like square mesh.
Okay.
Hopefully painted black or maybe plastic coated black. Put a nice snuggly kennel in there or something.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, another thing that did arrive yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if does anyone remember the DeWalt mat saga?
Yes, of course we do.
And I have spoken to them since, and they are sending some stuff out. A package did arrive, which was, I'm guessing, as a precursor to what is coming, some 2 batteries, which are 18 volt. Well, they actually flex. So I haven't used any DeWalt gear, so I don't know anything about them. Haven't even taken these out of the box. But a 9 amp hour battery, 18 and 54 volt. I think it has a switch or something on it.
So you just toggle a switch for what voltage you require?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could
I've never seen one of them before.
Guess I could pull it out of the box and actually check. But yeah, 2 of these arrived. And the other thing that arrived, I'll show you in a second, which is probably even more interesting. Unboxings live on the podcast. Are you monitoring those questions?
I'm just looking to see what we've got.
Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty looking battery. Okay, so what is this? Oh, that's a transport. Please remove. Sorry, guys. Oh, there's a sticker there. God,
Update on Chook Cam, someone said. Oh,
Chook Cam, yeah.
How did I get out of
I'll give you the Chook Cam the chicken live stream update shortly. Where's the switch, Karthik? Or does it automatically switch? Maybe you don't even need to. It must automatically switch. If anyone knows about these DeWalt Flex batteries in the comments, let me know. Donna's loving the slippers. Thank you very much. Wee says, we have so much laying around at our store, I don't even know what they do with it. I guess he's talking about the Bunnings rails and shelving out the back there. Morning, Donna.
Can I say, the last couple of lives you've always mentioned VV. And I thought it was this made-up person you were referring to.
No.
Just to justify your pronunciation on some of these brands.
No.
Yeah, so I'm actually surprised that VV is an actual person and actually works at Bunnings.
Yeah, I think this is our third live podcast, and Wee-Wee's been there for every one, so thank you very much.
Does VV have a job?
Well, at Bunnings.
Okay.
I assume so.
Because he's always on our lives, that's what I mean.
Maybe he or she are watching during work.
Yes, I am real. Good to know, Evie. Thanks for tuning in every time too. We appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Shows that.
Oh yeah, there's the battery.
Buttons, nothing?
No, it doesn't seem to be. So you must just plug it in, and it must detect that it needs 54 volt.
Yeah.
Or it's a 54 volt tool. So yeah, this is the DeWalt batteries. If you're listening at home, not watching. And this was the other thing. This is the more interesting thing that arrived, Karthik.
Okay.
I'm a little bit devastated. We might have to do a giveaway for this. We need to find someone that's named Matt, because we had arrive a lovely looking Under Armour polo.
Yeah. DeWalt with Matt.
DeWalt and Matt.
You can't give that away. You got to hang on to that.
Maybe I'll hang it up. Maybe I'll frame it.
Yeah, you got to hang on to that.
Yeah, I think so.
Hang on.
Who's DeWalt sent that.
Bro,
that's
that
funny.
Is perfect.
Yeah.
That is
I
awesome.
That was
you
hilarious
cannot give that away.
That DeWalt got on.
Yeah, that's got to stay.
Board there. Yeah, so that's arrived. I assume some mowers or something, or line trimmers arriving soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's often the batteries arrive separate to the gear, I've noticed. Or maybe because they're flammable.
I think they
dangerous goods.
Maybe
whatever.
they send the stuff still. They didn't want to send the T-shirt on its own, so they send a battery with it just as a.
Maybe. maybe. So yeah, that's the garage is set up. That's the fence. I told you about the Perth podcast. They also had lots of tents there. There were 6 tents there from brands.
Yep.
So there was a little bit of a meet and greet beforehand, and just tents around with equipment set up. They had Kress there.
Yeah.
Greenworks, AEG, Ego.
Yeah.
Felco.
But okay, so three bits of tool that you saw that you kind of.
Well, there wasn't a ton that I hadn't seen, so I sort of listed what I hadn't seen in the flesh.
Okay, yeah, that'll
and I started with Kress, just because I knew the guy there. He's moved over there, interestingly enough. They've got a... Yeah, if you don't know anything about Kress, I've actually got the charger in the background here. This is their slower charger, which is kind of crazy. For me, it's charged their 4 amp hour batteries. They don't even say they're this quick. 8 minutes for a 4 amp hour battery charge. That's how long it's taken me.
And that's not on their fast charger, is it?
No,
that's just their normal charger.
Stay a little closer to that, maybe, Karthik.
Yep.
That's on the normal charger. Their fast charger, they say it takes 8 minutes, but this, I've timed it. I actually drained a battery, and I might do it. Just say hello to the...
Yeah, no, you're right.
I've got one here. I did... You got to talk, Karthik. So...
That's all right. I'm just reading the questions to see. Bradley's going to bed, apparently. Good night, Bradley.
Oh, night, Bradley.
You did a night shift. I did a night shift too, Bradley. Come on, hang around.
I just figured we'll do this experiment live on the podcast. I did drain this battery on the back of the blower just before, which I do like, by the way. Now, they do claim on their Cyber Tank, which is basically a large battery that you put on the back of your truck or your ute or your van. You charge that up at night, and then that charges these
everything
super quick. So in 8 minutes. This is your plug-in charger, plug into the wall. And I'm not sure how long they say it takes for them. But yeah, last time I timed this, it took 8 minutes. Or it might have been 8 to 9 minutes it was. Which seemed ridiculously quick to me, to the point where I did it again and got the same result. So I want to do it now live to make sure that I haven't
fair enough. It's just on the background.
Yeah. I think it's plugged in.
Bradley's a nurse. All right, fair enough. You work hard. You can go to bed.
So what's the time code now?
We've got 10:06.
10:06. Okay. Well, it's 17:45 on the podcast. We're plugging that in.
Turn it around.
Hopefully, I won't have to check. Yeah, so that's on charge now. That's a 4 amp hour battery, and I totally got away from my story. This podcast is all over the place.
That's all right. That's all right. It's always all over the place. But yeah, you said you saw something from Kress.
So those they're quick charge batteries.
Yep.
The problem with them is they're quite heavy for a 4 amp hour battery. So you use the trimmer, and it's very heavy.
Throws the weight. Yep.
They've just released I think it's called a Cyber Nano, which is still a 4 amp hour battery, but it's smaller, lighter weight, but it's a 20-minute charge time.
Okay.
But, that's still reasonably quick. Mm-hmm. So that's one of the new products they had.
What's it? What? Nano what?
Cyber Nano, I think it's called.
Nano.
So it's the same 4 amp hour, well, not the same.
Same output.
Smaller battery in size.
Yeah.
Still 4 amp hour battery, but
lighter but slower to charge.
But yeah. So I don't know what the tech is there. And the other thing they've got coming out, which we're going to get to try. It's basically a charger like this, but it's not like this. It's a DC to DC charger, which means you can get. They've released I think it's a 25 amp hour battery. Mm-hmm. This big backpack one here that I'm pointing to is a 11, I think.
60 volt, 660 watt.
I think it's an 11.
Mm-hmm.
The 25 amp hour you put on one side, and then you can charge 6 4 amp hour batteries off the power of that on the go.
Right. Okay.
So you can put that on the back of your ute.
Yeah.
With the big one, and it'll charge.
And it got it. It acts as a power station, basically.
Essentially, yeah. So they were the two things of interest to me that I hadn't seen. The other thing was a telescopic pole saw, which...
Kress again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Had quite a bit of reach.
You got to see the Ego commercial in flesh
Let me settle down, Karthik. All right, we'll go to Ego. Ego had a couple of things that I hadn't seen. They've got a really good setup, their stands. Like marketing-wise, I think they do really well. They make everything look good. And
packaged well anyway. The products look good. Yeah.
Yeah. They had their commercial mower, which I hadn't seen.
This is the world's most powerful.
Yeah, 17 point something newton meters of torque.
Wow, that was on camera too.
It's all good. It's not mine. That's the. I just dropped a very large iPad, but
no
I
cracks
think
in
it's
the
all
screen.
good. Yeah, I did. The funny thing is, my daughter did the same thing a few weeks ago and cracked her screen, and I was very disappointed in her. So,
and that's.
Let's hope she never sees this.
Dropping things while I visit you is such a me thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it always drops on the screen side down, and then you've got to have that moment where, have I broken this? Is this going to be a $500 exercise? The Ego commercial mower looked and felt really good. Mm-hmm. Things of note, the catcher has a little lip. Did you see the video or not?
Yes, I did.
Yeah,
it just slides in that way, right?
Slides into the chute.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's for.
I remember you saying maybe it's to stop the clippings dropping. But
which I've noticed with a lot of bags when you pull out and they drop
Yeah, of course. But is that lip really going to...
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if it'll get in the way but it seemed to get in the chute quite well.
Okay.
Looks solid, feels solid. Keen to use it. Hopefully that'll be on the way soon for us to try out. They also had the pressure washer there, 2,000 PSI.
Okay.
Battery pressure washer, which I love the idea of. I've got one at home, not that one. We've got the Karcher, obviously, that I've used.
Yep.
And it's awesome not having to plug in another, electrical.
Yeah.
And the other thing was the Shop Vac.
Okay. Is this by Ego as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think all three of those things we'll be trying here.
Nice. Okay.
So I love the idea of a cordless Shop Vac, like a vacuum. It's just
it'd come in handy for you here as well.
Well, I mean, I've got an old Dyson that I use there in the corner, and the annoying thing is the cord. So keen to try those things. When do you think you'll get a go of the battery stand on? So Michelle's jumping ahead. At the Greenworks tent, I saw their commercial mower. And that was super interesting because it's got hub motors. So the motors, instead of having a gearbox or anything, the motors are in the wheel.
Yeah.
which means that it's virtually silent when in terms of the drive.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you engage the blade, you're going to get noise there.
Yep.
But just going along, it's kind of like you ever ridden an electric scooter or something like that.
Well, not
anyway, it's like that.
but
I know.
They're
super.
It's like when a Tesla takes off.
Tiny little hum. Yeah. So that was weird.
Okay.
To see.
So you actually got a more with it, or just
no. I just got a feel of it. The controls. It's got a cool like LED or LCD screen on the top. Control again. Super heavy duty feeling.
I know they call it the Optima Z or something, but does it run on the 82-volt commercial battery range that they've got?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and they also mentioned that there's a large battery that. I couldn't work out exactly from what he was telling me how it worked, but I think you can get a larger battery that will sit in there as well.
Okay.
But yeah, very hard to tell with these things until you try them. But both of them just felt extremely beefy, extremely solid.
Okay, good.
Which is what I like out of a commercial mower. I don't know how they cut. I mean, yeah, weight-wise, holding it felt comparable to the... contractor, my Massport contractor.
Nice. Okay,
which,
that's a big call. Yep.
Decent sized wheels for both of them. So be interesting to see how they go. But the other mower they had there was their Optimus. I think that's the Optimus C, the stand on. Right. 32 inch. So actually, I have one here.
Yeah.
Not that one. My Skag 32 inch V ride. So it's essentially that style of mower, a stand on zero turn, but all battery.
Okay.
We're going to be getting a go of that here, and I might take it out for a Free-Mo Fridays or something. And he said, give it a go. And I said, we haven't been able to break it, so
like trash it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm obviously not going to trash it.
Not intentionally,
not
but you know what I mean.
Guy.
Yeah, says the guy who just
Wee
dropped
was
the
waiting
iPad.
for me to break something. Knew it was coming. That's fair. I thought the mic would go before the iPad, but please for the Miss Peter's freaking out now. She's like, please for the love of God, put that case back on, Matt. I might put the case back on. Especially considering it's not my iPad. What other temp was there? We had AEG. Nothing new there for me apart from the new 58-volt blower, which another one claiming to be the world's most powerful handheld blower.
Okay.
Felt powerful. It had 3 button speed. Yeah. And then I didn't like the trigger. I thought the trigger was a little bit... I like a... like a trigger on the Ego line trimmer.
Yeah.
You know, how do you describe that? It's like you got a lot of control in it. I didn't feel there was a lot of travel in the trigger. So if I wanted to be on the middle level speed or whatever and just have it sort of drop down a little bit. There was,
you got more feedback from the trigger.
You move your finger a tiny bit and it was quite a big difference. I like a bit more control. So I wasn't a massive fan of that. It had some sort of cruise control, which I didn't work out. It felt a little bit awkward for me. Again, this is just picking it up at a stand, not having a real go of it. But absolutely felt very powerful. Had an 8 amp hour on it, which felt very heavy for me. What else did I see while I was there, Karthik?
Tell me.
I think they were the main things. Greenworks, Ego.
And your Free-Mo Fridays, did you have to borrow? Obviously, you had to borrow Luke's equipment for that.
Yeah, Luke had obviously all his gear. It was weird using someone else's. I started using the Ego line trimmer, the commercial one, and I'm used to using that. And what I've noticed with that one, and I said to him too, I had 2 line breaks, like pretty early on.
Okay.
And I'd had that problem too with mine.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is about that head. Sometimes, or some heads in general, just seem more likely to
cause a line break.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a speed feed on, like he had.
No, it was just
he
a
had
stock
the standard
head.
one. Yeah.
And I really like the design of the head in that it's the line's quite low to the ground.
Yep.
It's nice and flat. I don't know. I still don't know if I'm doing it wrong, but it just feels really hard to ratchet up when you're rewinding the line.
Okay.
Which, I'd be putting a speed feed on that one. But anyway, I had a couple of line breaks and I just put it down, and then I just grabbed his, what do you have, a 131 or something still? And I used that for the rest of it. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Or it was the combi tool equivalent. of it. And then he had his Honda HRU 216, which was it's a bit of a bitzer. Bit from this one, bit from that one.
Hey.
That's been going for a while. And yeah, it's so hard to judge. I haven't used one of them for a while because I've been using the Massport, but I feel my Massport vacuums better. But like I said, that thing was a bit flogged out, so hard to do a one-to-one comparison. But yeah, nothing.
Did you look out the window enough to pay attention to the WA lawns? Are they all cylinder mode?
No.
Beautiful.
I mean, I guess it depends where you go. I didn't go to any areas where it was. Just hold that closer to you.
When I speak, I can walk in.
I wasn't going to any areas where I saw lots of that. We saw a few contractors as we're going around cylinder mowing, which just blew my mind.
Yeah.
It's just,
and is it all Mowmasters and MEY?
Yeah. But yeah, I saw lots of average looking lawns, really patchy, and you can see the sand through them and just weeds or whatever. I think it's a bit of Luke was saying it's sort of one or the other. You either
you really got
a really nice lawn or a really average one because the ground there, it's just sand.
Yeah, they struggle with water retention, nutrient retention, all of that. Yeah,
lots of irrigation there, lots of talk about irrigation, which was surprising for me.
Are they on any restrictions or anything right now in terms of water restrictions?
They are?
Yeah, okay.
They are. But yeah, most people with a nice lawn, or most people, even at that Free Mow Friday we did, that had irrigation. And I'm like, oh, it's just weird. You just don't see it a lot here.
Yeah.
Speaking of irrigation, you know what would be awesome for irrigation?
Mm-hmm. A trencher?
Yes, the Geo trencher. Did you see the video of?
I did.
Yeah, so that arrived. Let me grab it for the camera.
You looked so uncomfortable and clumsy, but I know it was your first look. You were literally filming as you were trying to work it out.
Yeah.
And then the video ended, and I'm like, no, we want to see you feel a bit like, have you worked it out yet? Have you got it going?
No, I didn't.
Jeez, it's a big bloody Mad Max looking thing, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is the Geo trencher, which
God, are you all right?
Oh, I'm trying to.
Can I move the laptop so you don't drop it on the laptop next?
It's fine. It's all good. We've got to break something. It's basically a power saw body with a mega chainsaw looking attachment on it.
Yeah.
Which you look at that chain on it, it looks like a like a motorbike chain. Mm-hmm. It looks like a decent sized motorbike chain.
Yep.
And you use this to make trenches. This is the 38mm chain, which would be decent for irrigation. I think that what we're going to be using it for
is to run wiring.
Yeah, is to run fibre optic cable from this shed down to the chicken coop for our chicken coop live stream. We'll have, the plan is to have multi-cameras and it's switching cameras on the live stream.
So you're just going 24/7?
No, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
But you could probably do once in a while, go 24/7, but otherwise it might be a bit much.
Yeah, we're going to give it a crack doing that, and then I might run some stuff down the back too.
Mm.
And then, but initial thoughts, again, I just gave it maybe a 10 metre little trench because I didn't want to trench for no reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, it worked. I know I looked awkward with it.
Live feed is buffering.
Oh, is it?
Someone just said that.
Mine too.
Mine too.
I do apologise for that. Not much we can do about it at the moment, but what was I going to say? Cool tool. Super cool tool. I'll be doing a full video on it, but I just wanted to do a initial thoughts version on it, and gave it a good go. Donna's saying Tim's on repeat. Looks like Cold Trickle may have confused the internet wires with a worm. Oh, okay. Okay, now it's time for Karthik to say something about... Oh, okay. So they're all having issues with the internet. Why don't you tell me what you've been up to this week, Karthik?
I am... Quite honestly, I think it feels like I'm taking a break from lawn care to a certain extent this winter because I've mowed my lawn. I had plenty of opportunities to do it, and I've probably only mowed it like twice in the last 2 weeks since I saw you.
Well, it's slowed right down.
Not the rye. The rye's growing plenty.
Oh, the rye, sorry.
I could continue to mow it if I wanted to.
We haven't given you a rye update. How's it look?
No, it's looking fine. The couple of mows I gave it stripes up as rye always does. It's thickening up gradually as well as always, but it's cold, right? So it's, again, spring's probably like when it really kicks off even here. especially given I overseed it quite late.
Yeah.
But look, it looks better than what the tip would have looked like if I hadn't done it. So I'm still happy with it. But I'm taking it sort of super easy with my own lawn. I've done very little work on it. Been busy with work and sick kids and sick me for a short window there. And wife was sick for a bit. So lawn care's kind of taken the back seat for this winter at this stage.
God, you're depressing me, mate.
No, it's fine. It's part of, and like I've heard a lot of people tell me this, like on my page before, or I've read it where they say, take a break in winter. Like, you don't have to obsess over the grass.
Yeah.
12 months a year.
Well, that leads me into, I did ask you prior to starting this, winter lawn care tips with Karthik. What would be your number one lawn care tip in winter? The grass has started to slow down.
Yep.
There's not as much to do, but you can still do something.
Yeah, no. Initially, I joked and said, because I'm doing it right now, I said, just take a break and let the grass be. And you can still do that. That's fine. Especially for people that don't enjoy the mowing, I guess. But if you are wanting to look after your lawn and kind of still have it looking half decent, I'd say before you enter winter, give it a granular fertilizer application if you haven't done that.
Yep.
Because most people probably throw down some fertilizer at the start of spring, generally, and then kind of don't do anything again. So before going into winter, so maybe if you're in Sydney, sort of Feb, March at the latest, give it a granular fert. And then through winter, if you do want to continue to feed it, use liquid fertilizers instead of granular. Because once your soil temperature drops beyond a certain point, the granular won't break down. It doesn't actually get absorbed.
It's not going to take it up.
It doesn't absorb it at all, the plant. Yeah. But with liquid, if you spray it on and leave it on the leaf to dry, and then maybe a few hours later give it a light water in, the plant's more likely to actually absorb those nutrients.
You're still going to get diminishing returns anyway, aren't you?
And as always, and this is probably true of whether it's winter or spring, if you want to apply a certain quantity of liquid fertilizer, you're better off applying that in smaller batches over a period of time. Mm-hmm. So going like half rate or quarter rate and going 4 times a month or 2 times a month or whatever, than going one application for the whole month.
Yeah.
But look, not everyone's got the time to be doing multiple applications. So if you must fertilize, give it liquid, not granular through winter. You're just throwing money away otherwise.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably my one.
Very simple.
Primary winter tip.
Mine would be pre-emergent herbicide.
You want to tell the people what that is?
Well, my understanding of it is, I used to think that it completely prevented anything from germinating, but now that's not necessarily my understanding. Maybe it disrupts the germination process.
I think
or something.
The name is misleading because it says pre-emergent.
Yeah.
So you think, okay, it's not going to let it emerge at all.
Yeah.
Which is true.
And I still don't 100% know, but the bottom line is it will stop things from germinating.
Yep. Okay. And even if it does germinate, it won't survive.
Yeah. It's going to stop your weeds popping up. So you're going to get a lot of broadleaf weeds through winter, and that will prevent them from getting to that stage where they are visible.
And that's, I think, the clarity there is, if it's any plant, whether it's your lawn or a weed that's already there with roots, it's not going to do anything to those. So it's not going to harm your lawn, nor is it going to hurt the weeds that are already growing on your lawn.
Yeah.
What it does do is stop any new ones from germinating. So wintergrass is one of the best ones to fight with pre-emergent.
Yep.
Is because you apply that, and I think there's a saying about wintergrass where if it goes to seed once, then it's about 7 years before.
So much seed.
Wintergrass, eh?
But yeah, so pre-emergent, it's going to get what isn't there yet, or stop what isn't there from coming up. You'll need, obviously, post-emergent for anything that is.
And when would you recommend people apply pre-emergent?
I would have said in the last few weeks.
Okay.
Would you?
Same time as that granular I talked about.
Yeah, okay.
So I think before winter kicks in is probably your best time to do that granular and do the pre-emergent. Give it a drink.
We've got people, we dropped out on the live stream, we've got people hanging crap on us.
Are they back now, though?
They've been back for a while,
we're back.
But someone's noting that about my height being 7 foot tall.
Yeah.
There's lots going on in there. I've had another couple of things arrive that I have to test out in boxes. I've wanted to get it out for a little bit, but again, I went away and I've come back. We've got a $178 Morrison chainsaw. So it's sold at Bunnings exclusively, I believe.
Yep.
$179. Sorry, my bad. It's a... How many cc's, Karthik? Throw a number at me.
125.
Oh, that sounds like it. Jesus.
For that price, I don't know. I'm just throwing it. You said throw a number at me.
$179. That's cheap. It's a petrol chainsaw.
Yeah, give us some more details on it.
I'm trying to get the details. Okay. It's a great all-rounder, apparently. It's a powerful 45cc chainsaw with an 18-inch bar.
Okay.
So I guess it's kind of like an entry-level-ish machine. Yeah, it's
Never heard of the brand.
No, so I think it's one of under the Massport banner of brands.
Okay.
So yeah, I don't know. Has
Morrison.
anyone tried a Morrison chainsaw? I didn't see a lot about them on YouTube. I saw some older videos where it's that old school video style where it's like, you know,
There's a dad or someone standing there.
It's like the country setting. It's like the Morrison 45cc, you know that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Yeah, so our video probably won't be like that, but I've got that to try. Lots down the back to cut up. Mm-hmm. I should probably get some chaps and some proper protective gear, I think.
PPE, especially if you're going to be videoing it and putting it out to the world. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think
wanna
it's
show
a
'em how to do it
smart
safe.
decision anyway.
Yeah.
I even noticed when I was cutting the posts for the fence, I used the Milwaukee hatchet chainsaw, and I stand whenever I'm using a chainsaw. I make sure I stand to the side of it, so if it does come down,
Yep.
it's not going to hit me. Mm-hmm. And you know, as I got through the log, the timber, it dropped down a little bit, but I was well clear of it, and obviously I had people picking up on that.
Yep.
Yeah. Things look different in videos, but Miss Peter says chaps for the win. Wee Wee says Bunnings, wear that. Tim gonna have some pre-emergent. It sounds like I need some here. So I've got that. We've also had another robot lawnmower arrive. I get confused in my head as I say that because we've got the remote control mowers and we have the robot mowers, and they all kind of occupy the same headspace for me. But this one, again, it's kind of like the geotrencher in that I wanted to get it out and have a raw experience with the setup of it.
Yep.
Which I don't know. Tell me in the comments, do you like a video better where I'm just like opening something up, having no idea how to set it up, or would you prefer me to give you an idea of out of the box and someone not knowing how it works, how you can figure it out, or would you prefer me to have a go of it first, work it out, and then explain it to you?
And do a proper...
I don't know. I kind of like that raw stuff because it's like, okay, how intuitive is this?
Maybe there's 2 videos there then.
No.
It's a bit too much.
But I was super keen to get this out of the box, got it out, filmed my setting of it up.
Yeah. What brand is it? You're going to tell us?
Luba. I think the company is Momotion. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. You would have seen them on there. They're a white this one's an all-wheel drive. I think they're all-wheel drive. They look like a bit of a toy in videos I'd seen just on social media.
Yeah.
We're both looking over there like it's over there. But it's outside.
Okay. I'm looking for a box.
Let me show it to you. I'll show you the one. But yeah, it looked very toy-like in everything I'd seen. And I sort of dismissed it initially as, just another cheap robot mower or whatever, because there's lots of them around. But then you look at the price, and you're like, yeah, no, it's not another cheap one.
Okay.
But I got it out of the box right away. I'm like, okay, this actually feels...
Quality.
Yeah. It's got like suspension and everything in the front.
Nice.
It's got... The front wheels are different to any of the other ones I've tried.
Yeah.
A lot of them have a central sort of caster wheel at the front.
Yeah, that helps with the turning, so to speak. Yeah.
This is all-wheel drive and it's got 2 wheels at the front, but the front ones, it's got the wheel and then around it has rollers that roll the opposite way to the wheel, if you know what I mean. So then
perpendicular?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you could use that word. So this is my assumption because I didn't look into anything. I just assumed that it's less chance of tearing up the turf.
Yeah. Just crab walks when it needs to turn.
Basically,
Yeah.
I guess it gives it a bit more of a zero-turn-like property. Speed
Sure.
of setting. Oh, I should show you.
That's
yeah.
all right. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
But
See, look at that. See
Got
how it
it,
kind of
yeah.
looks like a toy?
yeah, I know what you mean. But
Yeah.
okay.
But I got it out and it felt like quality.
Have you already set it up?
I set it up very briefly. I don't think I did it properly because it doesn't know where the base is. I was in a super hurry. But right away I noticed the controlling of it to go around
The boundary.
the perimeter. The speed on that was quite good.
Okay.
I've any robot mower that I've set up, I've found I'm like, oh, okay, this will be half an hour. I'll be able to get it set up. 2 hours later, I'm going around the perimeter. They just always take longer to set up, and the software's generally not the most friendly software has been the Ecovac's Goat.
Yep.
For me, this is just my personal experience. This one I feel isn't too bad. Still not quite there. Like for the average person, I feel like it might be a little. Again, I've got to set it up again from when I've got time and I'm not in a hurry or whatever.
Yep.
But the thing I liked about it was the speed. You could adjust the speed to a higher speed
Yep.
to go around there because
You've got open
going around
areas.
here with the
Yeah.
Goat. It takes 10 minutes or
Yeah.
whatever. And then if something happens and it hangs and, I've got to do it again.
Start again.
It's just extremely frustrating. So to be able to zip around quite quicker in that thing, and it's quite responsive, and because of those front wheels, I feel it's quite maneuverable.
Yep.
Pretty cool, but...
Hey, whatever happened to that? What?
Wee. It said, is that battery charged yet? It absolutely is, because it was like 20 minutes ago. It's dead set.
can't
yet.
see.
Yeah, no, I know it is. So
Guaranteed? Okay.
there goes my...
Test.
Yeah, so I wasted all that time.
Well, but Vivi also did say he does like you not knowing what you're doing. Yeah, there you go. Actually enjoy seeing you have absolutely no idea what you're doing. It makes more raw and real.
Well, that's
So
I don't.
this is
I
how it
like
rolls, I
to.
guess.
I prefer to underproduce rather than overproduce things.
Yeah.
So that works for me as well.
Sorry, before we move on as well on the robot mower topic, whatever happened to that? Remember that cylinder mower that we talked about one of the earlier podcasts, and then we had that one other video you sent me after as well.
Yeah,
we never heard from them at all. Did
I
we?
did contact them, and I don't remember pre-registering interest or anything on their site. I got an email, and I thought it was from them, but then I realised it was a very generic
automated one.
So this is we're talking about a robot mower. I think it's the world's first cylinder robot
real
mower.
mower that's robotic. Yeah.
Yeah, which we cannot comprehend.
And we have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I will maybe try and contact them again this week. But it's a product that hasn't been released. It's another Kickstarter. The amount of Kickstarters for robot mowers just blows my mind. I've seen some people have been getting their what's it called? The remote control.
The Morator?
The Mowrator. I've seen
deliveries
on there. Yeah, I saw some people frustrated initially that they weren't getting them right away. And
okay.
Obviously, when they don't get them right away, they're screaming, "Oh, this is a scam" or whatever. But I can't imagine I would ever do a Kickstarter, like purchase a Kickstarter item. Would you? Even if you were right into it, even if it was like
if I thought it was a bargain.
If you thought it was a bargain, so it's a product.
But I'm right into it. You just said that, so then I probably would. But you're just worried about getting scammed. You mean? Well,
you're purchasing a product that isn't on the market yet. There's no 100% guarantee that you're going to get it.
Let's assume I see the product on social media, and someone that I'm following that I really like is using it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, and it could be a remote control mower. I might go, I followed him in every other place.
That's what I worry about.
I'm just saying, so that could happen.
I worry about showing these things because it's very hard for me to say.
And I know, people, you might not have said to people, buy it. You didn't say they were a legit producer, but people might watch it and go, well, he's not going to show us the product if he had an inkling that it was all some dodgy product, right? You've done a little bit of due diligence.
But because I don't have an inkling doesn't mean that it's going to come through.
I get that.
All I know is talking to them and and I did make it clear that it was a Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Maybe I think I need to be more.
But it's good if people are getting deliveries and it's worked out for everyone, right? And hopefully they like the product. hopefully they fix the software. I think distance.
There's an update for it. I've again, just because I've been flat out, I haven't had a chance. They did send me a message about they've got feedback from initial people receiving it, and there's a firmware update that I have to do. But I haven't had a chance. So
that's all right.
There'll be more stuff on the Mowers soon. Miss Peter is like me. She worries about Kickstarter products being legit because people, some of
I get it.
Not just mowers, but products in general. People, the company's vaporized and hasn't delivered on their promises or under-delivered on their promises, especially when you're talking about an expensive item like multiple $1,000s. What else were we going to talk about this week, Karthik?
I had something.
Not much more, really. Hey, that was pretty much it. Did you have anything?
Your trip was the most exciting part. I was waiting to hear about because you wouldn't.
I wish I could tell you it was like more exciting. It was cool to go over, but I don't have like a bucket load of stories for. I saw this, I saw that.
Terrible now because if I call him to go, welcome back. How was your trip? And he goes, we'll talk about it on the podcast. I don't get a straight answer anymore because it's like
talk to me.
It's like don't talk to me. Talk to me. Ask me on the podcast.
No, it's cool. Yeah, I told you would have seen the vlog on the way over there.
You assume I might have seen the vlog.
Well, I had no idea. I haven't been on a 5-hour flight, a 5-hour or plus, for a long time, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a nightmare sitting on there. And I feel like, I don't know if it's because I'm 7 foot tall, but I feel like plane seats are getting smaller and more compact.
You're still a growing boy, right? Maybe
true.
that's why. Yeah,
that's true. But so I was weighing up the idea of, I'm like, oh, I wonder what it costs to upgrade. So then when it was a few days before the flight and it gave you the option to upgrade, and then it wasn't just here's the cost. It's a bid to up. This is with Virgin. It's a bid to upgrade. So you can go, hey, I'll pay. It starts at like 270 minimum, and then you can go as high as you want. And it kind of tells you, it's like, it puts you at a price where you're like, oh, that's a fair price, bid price, which was, I can't remember what it was. It was like, maybe it was like 400 or something. And at that point, I'm like, oh, that hurts a bit. So I just put it right down. And obviously I didn't get it.
Yep.
And it let me know as I was on my way to the airport. Then I went to choose my seats when I was on the way to the airport. I'm like, I'm going to get the worst seats now in the middle.
Yeah.
And I saw the seats on the exit rows, they call Economy X, because the exit rows have got
extra
more
leg room usually,
substantially more, which I thought, as a 7 foot tall man, I'm going to really appreciate that. But yeah, you got to pay for it. Obviously, it was $92. I'm like,
God, for exit row.
But then I'm like, it's 5 hours. I'm sitting there on the plane. So
if the plane starts going down, aren't you the person that needs to help them on top of that?
Yeah.
You pay extra for that.
Yeah. God. So I did it. And then got on there and then got paid for the Wi-Fi as well, another $25, which was, it was wild to be, I just edited for like 3 hours and then uploaded videos.
While
from the sky.
Flying. Yeah, I know.
It was blowing my mind.
You're closer to the satellites, that's why it's faster.
Yeah, sure. And then I did the same thing on the way back, and I was sitting next to Tracy Spicer. Oh, you're too.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Who in the chat knows Tracy Spicer?
Is that like a stage name or is that the real name?
No, that's
Tracy Spicer.
She was a Channel 10 newsreader, and she's a journalist.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, she's not a Channel 10 newsreader.
Did you
now.
fanboy over her?
Well, she actually, because I would have looked like such a knob. I was in the middle row.
Editing your own videos.
The middle seat.
Yeah,
editing my own videos with me talking. And she's like, who's this idiot? But then we got chatting for a minute, and she's like, oh, are you that guy, blah, blah. She's like, oh, my husband watches your videos. Yeah. And she got a photo, and she goes, oh, is it all right if I get a photo? I said, oh, only if you let me get one too.
Yeah. So both of you getting features of features. Yeah, cool.
So that was my trip. She was see, Miss Peter knows.
Yeah, Miss Peter definitely is well informed.
Yeah, maybe I need to get her on.
Mm-hmm.
Two of my faves over in North America. Who are we talking about? Oh, would you do a crossover with American mowers like Our Blades or SB Mowing or something? Maybe if I went over there, I don't know.
Because you missed out on a New York trip for that Perth trip, didn't you?
I did, but that would have been even worse than this Perth trip because it would a lot further, and I would have been there less time as well. It would have been like fly in, 2 days there and back and that's again. A long way to travel for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm maybe a little thankful that and on top of that, the timing was just nuts.
I think you just need to plan like a proper trip. So you've got
I
a
know.
few days. No, but I mean like a few days for non-turf and tools related stuff that you can do with your family.
I think Michelle thinks you're a like a paid Ryobi plant or something.
I'm not.
She's mentioned a couple of times Karthik needs to say something about Ryobi.
I don't know. I just feel like I need to defend their honor because they get bagged out a lot. But I'm not, I promise.
You have done paid work for them, though.
Yeah, I've done previous ones and I probably have more coming soon as well.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
But you're very much like me in that you will use everything and you can judge something on its own merits.
Yeah. I don't know. I think when I see...
Oh, wow. I just got a message from... Sorry, you go on.
Go on, no,
No, you go on.
That sounds interesting.
You just
with
want to
the-
see
wow.
what...
No, like I just said, I don't know. When I hear a brand getting bagged out without sort of logic, I feel like I need to defend it. That's about all. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Anyway, go on.
I just got a message from David, who supplied from GeoTrencher.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he's probably not watching, but he might have seen one of the videos or something. He said, feel free to try the GeoTrencher to dig out the fence post holes you're doing. A little awkward, but it should cut through the rock if you go slow. Just use the teeth more and soak first if you can.
Oh.
Wow, okay, that's interesting.
I reckon he's watching. Oh, he's not watching the live,
No,
is he?
I don't think so. No,
okay.
maybe, who knows. I did...
Oh, maybe he saw that video of yours. Yeah, the vlog.
Last podcast we were going to do, I was going to get him to call, because with this little box here, we can have people call in if we've got our headphones and it go out to there.
Yep.
So I'm going to get, at some stage, him on to talk about this, its uses and whatever. It's not going to be a full podcast of it, but it'll, I don't know, maybe we'll have a 10-minute call or something.
Okay.
And maybe we should do that for some other bits of equipment too. I want to do it with the lawn paint because I know there's lots of questions about that. I want to get them on just for people to ask their questions. Let me know in the chat if you've got any suggestions for who you want me to give a call to.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
Maybe we'll call Tracy Spicer.
Yeah, why not? Did you guys exchange numbers, did you?
Not quite. Have you done much more trenching with that? No, I haven't done much more trenching with it. If you were going out on some tame residential maintenance jobs, what's your go-to trimmer? Husqvarna 525 LST or Stihl FS94? Either. I float
Pick one, would ya?
I float between both. Maybe just the Stihl because the fuel lasts longer. The tank in the 525 is noticeably
smaller.
Runs out. Yeah. Well, I'm not sure.
Is it capacity or is it just
capacity?
Okay.
But it's noticeably shorter when you run time when you're using it. So, but I like them both. It's going to be a personal preference thing. So don't go off what I'm saying. I would say for those two machines, they're equal in a lot of ways, and it's going to come down to your personal feel. That's my opinion. Any news on FS251R coming to Australia? Not that I'm aware of. I did see one of our viewers, I think it was Quiet Lawns maybe, they're in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And I really did appreciate this because any tips or heads up...
Is this a new product release?
Yeah, well, they were at a trade show in New Zealand.
Right.
And they had some photos of some Stihl gear, which I had no idea about. I did mention to you when I was trying the GTA 25 garden pruner, their little baby chainsaw, that...
They had something coming out.
Well, I said to you, I'm like, I would be extremely surprised if they don't have coming out shortly off that battery a set of battery pruners, shears.
Yep.
And he sent me this photo.
They've got one of them. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I don't know when it's coming out or if even, but he's at...
Looks very still, doesn't it?
Yes, very, very still.
Yeah.
So, yeah, potentially there's a set of battery pruning shears coming out from Stihl.
Well, sounds like if they've got those batteries, there might be a few more than just the one type as well, right? Over the coming months, year, maybe?
Maybe. There was another blower there that was running off. He gave me a bit of a rundown on the stuff, but that was cool. So if you have any heads up or anything,
Yeah, you see stuff that's...
you see something interesting,
new,
let me know. There's a new blower, a BGA 250. More power than the BGA 200 without the tether. Better balance than the BGA 86. So thank you for that, Quiet Lawns. Appreciate that. Queensland or New Zealand? Oh, sorry. I'm tired.
What?
Queensland or New South Wales? Are we talking about Origin? Is it Origin this week? Or next week?
Game 2 Wednesday, yeah, tomorrow.
Well, I mean, we're in New South Wales, so I think we've got to go.
I think we're going in South Wales, unfortunately.
Frosty.
God, how bad was the last? I don't know if you watched the last one. It was sad, though. It was depressing.
No, I did.
Yeah, it was painful.
Well, it was over after 7 minutes when...
It's just... Yeah, but you always sit there waiting for that miracle to
I didn't know you were
right?
into the football.
Yeah, I don't get to watch it as much as I used to with the household I've got going on.
Yeah.
But the little one, she's getting into footy a little bit as well.
Yeah. Has she got a team or...?
Well, because Dad, Mum, and all of us, we all go for the Eels. So she
God.
also goes for the Eels now, yeah.
What a bunch of losers.
Shut up.
They haven't won anything as long as you've been in this country.
You don't pick teams to support because they've won stuff.
Well, generally that's where
That's
people...
part of the pain of...
When someone adopts a team, like if they've come over from another country or something, they probably are going to be taking a team that is a winner.
I lived in Parramatta when I first got here. First got here when I first started following footy.
All right, sounds legit.
Yeah.
Someone says, thank goodness you didn't get a Ryobi. I don't know what we're talking about. Oh, maybe Frosty said, I just got a new Makita whippersnipper and he loves it. Well, that's good to hear. Not sure which one he got, but Eli's obviously on the Ryobi hate train.
I think they're messing with Miss Pira now because apparently she was mentioning the Ryobi for the same reasons that I was.
Okay.
Because she thinks they get bagged out a lot too, but anyway, it's all right.
Scott says, finally catching a live. Hi from Saskatchewan. I think it's Saskatchewan.
I'm sure that was perfect.
Canada.
I'm not trying.
Miss Peter. The Ryobi chat for you. Miss Peter likes Milwaukee. Yeah, well, I don't know. If anyone... We'll probably wrap up the audio version of the podcast now. So thank you for joining us for what has been another All Over the Shop podcast. We will see you next week in the audio version. We will answer some more questions on the live version now.
Yep.
See you next week on the audio version, guys. God, that is all over the shop, isn't it?
Yes, it is. That's a great professional finish.